fundraiser happening now.
So our Worst of Riot podcast is actually from the Riot on RadioU. RadioU is having our fundraiser to keep RadioU on the air, which then in turn keeps the podcast going. So if you want to support or at least learn more about RadioU, go to RadioU.com and you can donate while you're there.
Dude, this is a good one. It's 2014.
We mean it this time?
Well, yeah. It's weird. Okay, you know what's really weird? It is weird how... and I can't remember there's a name for it. I don't remember what it is, but I was just telling a friend this story, and now I'm including it in the podcast.
Sure, it just pops up.
He just went to an amusement park, and I'm like, oh my gosh, let me tell you what happened to me this one time at Cedar Point when I got stuck on the power tower. And you know who was there?
Who was it? Crumb?
Yeah.
Yeah, with you and Crumb.
But he wouldn't get on it. And I'm like, dude, whatever. It's not scary. It's no big deal. Let's get on the power tower.
And he got stuck on it, meaning it went up, but it
wouldn't come down.
It wouldn't come down. Something was wrong with it.
Well, the details are in there, but including the moment when I realized we had a real problem.
You'll know when things turned.
Yeah. So then we also have some people who call and tell us how they got stuck on rides. We find out what cats will do to your body if you die. Remember when we tried to keep the durian candy in our mouth?
Ooh, this is durian candy?
It's in there.
It's such a problem because at first you're like, it's candy. We love candy. And then the flavor is...
So...
You'll experience it with that, but then you're just like, but it's candy. Don't spit candy out.
Here, Nikki, I included this one especially for you. Eric wrecked his motorcycle.
Oh, is that in here? Oh, good times.
I can't believe that was 5 years ago.
Yeah, we're never buying one again, even though it looks so fun and awesome and so cool, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then last, we explore whether or not you would help me hide a dead body.
I'll help I'm always here to help you out.
Okay, well, we'll see.
I'm sure
we'll see
I
if
said
you felt that way
then.
5 years ago.
I will cautiously say that I'll always help out in some way.
Remember to make sure you give today. RadioU.com. Click on donate for the fall fundraiser. Keep the Riot podcast right here in your ears.
If you don't support during the fall fundraiser, the Riot will disappear.
You wouldn't want that to happen, would you? Would you?
On second thought, don't answer that. RadioU Fall Fundraiser. 877-2-RADIO-U. RadioU.com.
I think that this is freaky, but I want to go to our resident vegan and see what she thinks about it. Did you see this, Nikki, that there's a group that has just reached their funding goal on Indiegogo? They're called iGEM. And they say that they have managed to use human DNA to create DNA blueprints that are inserted into yeast, which enables them to create a cheese that is completely vegan compatible because it lacks animal products.
Yeah.
It's got human DNA instead.
That's a very interesting question.
So they say
made of people.
They say that this is a completely animal product free cheese that you can eat, and they say this is the first. Like all the other vegan cheeses out there are like, hey, we managed to mash up this bean and it's like cheese.
They get a lot of that.
They're saying no, this isn't like cheese, this is cheese. Human cheese.
I don't know if I'd be comfortable with that either.
Yeah. So they say that they are like they have enough to basically get started. They're not like don't look for it.
They have enough for one sandwich.
Right. It's going to be expensive, this cheese.
It's a very expensive grilled cheese sandwich, but one person can have it.
But they say that like it's not going to go mass market yet, but they are going to go mass market with it.
They're planning on doing that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I enjoy this one that's made out of tapioca. So I think I'm good with that. I don't want to try the human one.
No? Mm-mm. Well, okay, like...
And I know it's not like human. I don't like it.
Well, that's been the other thing that I've actually been thinking is, like, as a vegan, can you have cheese made from human milk?
From human milk?
So, like, no animal was harmed in the creation of that? Why isn't that popular? Should that be like a thing?
I just don't want it. Just don't.
Not interested.
I don't even want to think about it.
Okay.
Just happy as can be with other stuff.
With the substitutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This to me, again, I know we say this a lot, but this has zombie apocalypse written all over it.
Oh, I don't the scientists.
Of people, like using DNA to create human cheese.
And then the cheese is alive and it has a face.
Yeah.
It's like, no way.
I'm very uncomfortable with where this is going, but the important thing is that no animals were harmed. All right, people, Dude, do what you
Aren't
want
we
to
all
them.
animals?
Do what you want to them. But
No, I just think that's weird.
yeah, that's a thing.
If you keep supporting Radio U, the Riot will keep coming in here every morning and saying stuff. If that's not incentive, I don't know what is. The Fall Fundraiser on Radio U, 877-2-RADIO-U, RadioU.com.
So yesterday, for work, because it's work, I went to Cedar Point.
Thanks for being such a hard worker and doing
I know.
that.
It's very difficult.
You're always willing to step up and do those trips that others don't want to do.
I'll tell you right now, the worst part about going to Cedar Point as a member of the media is how you get a PR rep that walks around the park with you and gets you to the front of the line immediately. That is the worst part.
It's terrible. And please do not envy him, okay?
Yeah. I will tell you right now that, again, back to how bad it is that it's just ruined Cedar Point for me. Because if I try to go when they're not putting me in the front of the line, it's just like, what is this garbage?
I don't understand.
So
it does change things. It does.
yeah. So yesterday I rode the new Gatekeeper
At Cedar Point.
that was new last year. Spectacular ride. So smooth. That's the thing that's great is much like some of the other rides, they're like just very, very smooth. Got on the Millennium Force, which used to be the tallest roller coaster in the world. It's not anymore. Somebody else is like, it's 3 feet higher. So whatever. Got on the Top Thrill Dragster, which is one of those rides. It's like 17 seconds long, and you go up 430 feet and then
you go
down and
real fast.
120 miles an hour. It's nuts. Great ride. Then, like, we're getting ready to leave, and this is Eric's idea. He's like, he wants to get on. We were filming for Radio U TV. You can actually see it starting this Friday night on RadioU.tv. But as the cameraman...
See, we told you it was for work.
Yeah. As the cameraman, you often get left out because the talent goes and does the thing, and Eric has to run the camera. And so he got to do several of the rides, but he missed out on Top Thrill Dragster. So as we were leaving, he's like, hey, I want to get on the Power Tower.
That's a nice, simple ride. It's the one where you choose if you want to go up, if you get shot up, or the one where you can choose if you want to get dropped down.
Yeah. So I was like, I don't know. And I thought, no, I'm going. So I ran over there. We get on the ride.
You, him, and Goose?
Yeah, it's me, Eric, and Goose. And so we're sitting there. We get all strapped in, and it's the one that shoots us up. And it's funny because there are no lights. There's no indicators. You don't know when you're going to get shot up. And so when it does, it's just startling because it's just like, wah! So, you're going straight up and you're screaming and you're having a good time. And it's like, woo! Woo! And you're supposed to be bouncing, so we go up, and then we bounce down a little bit, and then we just stop.
Up on top.
We just stop. Now, I don't know how tall the Power Tower is. It's a couple hundred feet. And I am afraid of heights. I am. Like, I'm afraid of heights.
Not enough to where you won't go fly somewhere or do it like that, but just it's uncomfortable when you're stuck in a position of height.
And I mean, like, hey, I still get scared, nervous, excited, like whatever when I'm getting on a roller coaster. So, I mean, the Millennium Force, 300 feet. Top Thrill Dragster, over 400 feet. And so I'm nervous, but it's fine. Like, I do it anyway kind of thing. But when you've been shot a couple hundred feet into the air
and then you
just sit there and it's like, hey, we're not moving. It actually gave me a brand new perspective because people, like, we hear a story like, they were stuck on a roller coaster. It's like, who cares?
Well, you always hear like they were stuck on it for 20 minutes or a couple of hours, and you think, oh, well, you just sit there.
You don't think it's a big deal, but I can tell you as someone that was dangling a couple of hundred feet in the air for about 10 minutes yesterday, it was one of the more unnerving experiences that I've had.
Just because you didn't know when they were going to drop you down or if you dropped down the right way.
That's exactly right. You didn't know. It was the fact that I didn't know what was going to happen next. Like, I didn't think I was going to die. It wasn't like that. But it was one of those things where it was like, okay, they have like one of those really tall things that I'm going to have to step into. Is that what happens next?
The cherry picker.
The cherry picker? Is that what happens after this happens? Okay. What? And then after we've hung for a while, the ride starts to go down, and you're like, "We're going down. We're going down." And then it was like an inch, and we dropped a couple of hundred feet. I swear to you, about an inch at a time.
They were making sure you were safe.
We were up there forever. Here's the part I love. We're up there. We're maybe 25% of the way down after we've been at the top. We can see the maintenance department, and we can see the guys with the tools on their backs walking over to the ride. And it's just like, all right, I don't know if I'm encouraged that they're coming over. Like,
well, they're working on it.
The thing Eric pointed out that was the most encouraging is that they weren't running or panicked. Like, that made me feel good. Because if they had come running with tools, it would have been like, oh, no! Oh, my gosh!
And as you're stuck on this ride.
I'm at the top of this thing, quoting the litany against fear and just breathing in through your nose.
Well, he was saying it was probably you guys were stuck. They figured out where on the other one, because there's other power towers. Like
there's four of them.
There's four of them. On the other one, it was a group of school kids.
Well,
so the weight wasn't as balanced, and it caused issues.
That's what they told us. Like, they put me and Eric and Goose on one side.
And there was...
It's a square. And they said on the other side, there was one guy. And then on one of the other sides, there was just some kids. And so they're like, it was unevenly balanced, which may have caused the problem. And it was just like...
That's the reason.
Aren't you guys the ones that put us here? I mean, if you're like, hey... Fatty's on this side. Couldn't you have split us up a little bit?
Out.
Something like that? Do you guys know what you're doing?
I know it's scary, but was it fun after the fact? Because now you can say you've been stuck on a ride.
I didn't think the Power Tower was fun this time. I have had wonderful fun on it in previous occasions. Another thing I loved about it was this. Apparently, Jared rode everything we rode yesterday except for the Power Tower. And apparently Jared finds that particular ride just terrifying.
Oh, too scary?
Overwhelmingly, he can't get on the Power Tower. He did it last time. We took Play-Doh, actually, to Cedar Point a couple years ago and did some TV stuff for it. And Jared was just like, no, I can't. I can't do this. Well, he didn't get on it this time. And I kind of wish that he would have.
He would have been so scared.
And yet I'm also glad that he didn't because...
Oh, that would have scarred him.
Scarred for life.
Yeah.
Now, hey, up in a couple minutes, I've got other people that have gotten stuck. I've got your Facebook replies. And then if you want to get in, 877-2-RADIO-U, you can tell me about the time you got stuck.
Stuck on a ride. Or you can join us on Facebook, which is at RadioU Riot.
You can also make it up. We weren't there, so we don't know.
You know, that one time you were there for 5 hours?
The all-new Impossible Riot is your meat-free morning alternative. Keep those calories empty by donating now. Radio U's fall fundraiser, 877-2-RADIO-U, RadioU.com.
Yesterday, I got stuck at the top of the Power Tower at Cedar Point, which is, in fairness, everybody has that ride. All the amusement parks do. It's where you can either get shot up really fast to the top of the tower,
or they
and then
take
you kind of bounce.
Up and drop you down.
They take you up and they drop you. So that's where I'm at. I asked you what happened to you, and a lot of people have had a lot of things happen. And I
was surprised. I thought, well, maybe you might get one or two have been stuck on a ride, but you seem to be getting quite a few options here.
If you like roller coasters and or amusement parks, this may not be a good time for you. You might want to turn the radio down just a little bit. So let's see. We'll start with Austin, go to Lisa, and I've got Chuck and James too.
Hey, Austin, how are you doing?
I'm all right.
All right. What happened to you?
I was at Kings Island. This was just Sunday, so 2-3 days ago?
Uh-huh.
What day is today? Tuesday?
It's Wednesday.
Sure it is.
Oh, Wednesday.
The week blurs.
This was on Sunday, though, and I stood in line for this ride for about an hour because it was broken down prior, which probably should have been a good indication to walk away.
Uh-huh.
But stood in line for about an hour and then finally got on the ride. So we are ascending on the main hill, and I don't know if I said it was the Firehawk or not, but it was on the Firehawk. So you're laying down and you're at this awkward angle where you're just kind of leaned back so far that there's blood going to your head.
It's supposed to look like you're kind of Superman. You're almost laid out. You got your arms out.
Yeah.
You're supposed to feel like you're flying.
You're flying. Okay.
Right.
So did you stop on the big hill, or what happened?
As soon as we got to the top, there was a chick, and then the whole ride just completely stopped.
And so you were just hanging there.
Up there for about 10 minutes, And I'm like, okay, well, I'm here with my family, so I need to call my mom and let her know that we're not going to be able to meet up at the same time that we had determined.
I thought you were going to say, like, call your mom because you're not sure if you're going to see her, like, to come get you.
I love you, Mom.
I'm sorry, Mom, for everything I did, but make them come get me now. So, yes.
When I finally managed to get my phone out of my back pocket, we had already been up there for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'm on my phone. And they had sent somebody up on the stairway to, like, try and comfort everybody. There was, like, girls freaking out, and somebody threw up. And
yes! Even better!
So I'm just sitting here, and this guy was like, are you on your phone right now? I was like, yes, I am. And he's like, well, I'm going to have to ask you to put that. I was like, stop right there. I'm stuck on your ride, and I'm calling my mother to tell her that I can't meet up with her at the designated time. I will do what I want right now.
That's funny. I love it. I love it.
And the best part was that even after that, I was like, so do I get to, like, go again real quick, or do I get, like, a fast pass for one ride or something? They're like, we can't do anything for you.
All right.
I was like, oh. Okay.
Hey, you got a great story out of it, all right? You got a life lesson. I don't know what the lesson is, but you got a lesson.
Well, I will tell you, Austin, thanks for calling. When we were on the
Austin.
power tower yesterday, I actually said, I was like, man, I wish I had my phone.
Oh, you didn't bring it up with you?
No, I had left it in my bag, and I was just like, forget it, whatever. Let's talk to Lisa. Lisa, you also had a power tower problem, didn't you?
I did, but I didn't get stuck at the top or anything. As I was getting ready to get on the ride, I went to put the harness down and it wouldn't lock.
Yeah.
Well, they do the check. As you go around, they'll check it and make sure everything's locked. Well, they skipped over me. Like, I was the last one, and they skipped over me, and somebody gave a thumbs up. I started screaming profanities in front of a bunch of little kids like nobody's business. Like,
well, yeah, you're going to freak out. Oh, it's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm screaming and yelling, and I am terrified that they're going to let this ride go with this harness not working.
And you're not in.
And so finally they sent somebody over to me, and they fixed it.
Yeah.
My instinct was to get off the ride, but I didn't follow my instincts. I stayed on it, and I hated every minute of it.
Oh,
and I don't know if it was just because I hated the ride, or if it was the scare beforehand.
No,
but I will never go on it again.
That is a frightening scare right there.
Oh, my gosh.
And you feel like someone's playing a prank on you, kind of like, hey, stop, what are you doing? Why are you passing me?
Well,
you know, like, what are they doing?
My thing is like, you're all rational and cool and everything.
Yeah.
Until, like, when there's, like, you're starting to actually perceive danger. It's funny how all of a sudden you go from somebody who would be like, oh, excuse me, sir, my hot dog isn't cooked all the way, to, oh, my gosh! I'm dying! I'm going to die! And
I felt like I should have apologized to some of these parents with their kids and everything. I mean, I wasn't thinking rationally. It was, I am going to die if they don't come over here.
You're like, I don't know what words I just used, but it's hopefully enough to get you to stop, okay?
I'm sorry.
That is great.
All right, Lisa, thanks for calling.
Have a great day.
Let's check in. We got time for James? You want to get him next?
Okay, we'll talk to him real fast.
All right, James, just tell me, you got stuck on the Son of Beast. Where were you?
We were at Kings Island, and, like, I knew, like, they had problems and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But then, like, I still went on it anyway.
So these instinct things.
Yeah.
It's a common thing I keep hearing from everybody.
I thought it was a bad idea, but I went for it.
I got on the ride. I waited forever. What part did you get stuck on?
The loop.
The loop? Oh.
Well, okay, but wait. You got stuck on the loop. Like, were you going up, or were you, like, upside down?
We were halfway in between, like, the farthest point up and going down. So we were kind of, like, cockeyed.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, like...
Yeah.
So all we had was, like, a bar holding us, and we were all freaking out.
Oh, I bet. That's why that ride is...
It's gone. Yeah. Now, all right, so were you guys leaning way forward or leaning way back?
Way forward.
Way forward?
Yeah, that's scary.
That'd be intense.
You're doing, like, an isometric set, like, it's fine, my legs will keep me secure.
Sure.
Then after a few minutes, your legs are shaking, your arms are shaking.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make it!
How long did it take till they come and got you?
Like a good 10 minutes.
That's long enough to start getting shaky.
I was freaking out. Like, it almost made me not want to ride roller coasters anymore, but...
You got back on? That's the
Well,
ride
he doesn't
where...
listen to his instincts, so he's right back on.
That's the ride where one of our previous employees, they had problems with it, and they were testing that ride, and during the loop, they would put...
dummies.
Big dummies, and not like, oh, you mean stupid people? Actual physical dummies in there. And when the loop went through, when they were testing it, a couple of the dummies fell out because they were having problems, and so it looked like people were falling out of the roller coaster. It was the biggest thing ever, but it wasn't people, but no one else knew that.
It didn't make it.
It did not make it. That's why that thing is gone.
All right, James, thanks for calling.
Yeah, that would have made me not at all.
I know, yeah, but they were working on it. So.
All right, well, roller coasters, maybe it's not a good idea.
No, these are more than I thought. But you think you're going to do fine. You still have more to do.
Sure, Obadiah and Nikki work for Kit Kats and coffee, but we still have actual bills to pay. Support Radio U. Fall fundraiser, 877-2-RADIO-U. RadioU.com.
I think I've changed my mind on this, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because I think that this, what is it called again?
Durian.
Durian Fruit Challenge. I think it is unfairly stacked in your advantage.
Why?
Because you like weird Asian food.
Not durian.
And you eat weird Asian food
Not
all
durian.
the time.
Not
and
this.
So you eat fermented seaweed.
Oh, yeah, I do. But that's not this.
Be that as it may.
Are you afraid you'll lose?
Your palate to this weird, I like Asian food stuff. I was raised in another country.
We did our food fight, and from it, the hardest to handle is this durian candy.
It is so bad. It is not candy. Stop calling it candy.
Was it medicinal or
it's
not?
It's
called durian candy.
I'll tell you, it is medicinal. It's used for inducing vomit in small children.
And Phil brought these back from China, and we have 2 left.
We do.
And durian is a fruit that reeks.
Yeah.
It just smells really, really bad. So it's very hard to eat because you cannot get over the taste of it and the smell of it combined. It's just very difficult.
All right. So do you think we could make it like up for a minute? I think you could go all day.
I don't know. It's pretty bad.
I see. No, now this is what a hustler does. They're at the pool. They're at the pool hall.
Hey, you want to bet
like,
lunch?
Bet lunch? No, I don't have that kind of money. All right, are you ready?
Yeah, hang on.
Okay.
It's really hard to open it.
Yeah.
Just slowly, just making you wait.
All right. This is such a bad idea.
Why?
Remember how you felt about mung drink? This is how I feel about this.
You're way more skittish than I am, even though it tastes bad. Like, I cannot emphasize how bad this tastes.
Well, let me reemphasize the fact that I really know how bad it tastes.
So this is durian candy. Whoever...
I'm running the timer.
Whoever can keep it...
My goal is to make it for a minute.
1 minute?
Yeah.
What do you get? I get tomorrow off. No, just teasing. Whoever keeps it in longer.
Wait. You know what? Here, do we need... Shoot, you know what? I should have been ready for this because I have this one...
You have durian candy music?
Well, I mean, I have this great music. Hang on. Let me see if I can...
What are you doing?
This is what they play at most Chinese restaurants.
Put in the candy.
You ready?
No, I don't want the music. I can't be distracted. I can't be distracted by it. Ready? 1.
No, wait, I got to get to the timer. Anybody know what happened to the timer? Oh, we can't do it. Well.
Is your timer gone?
Yeah, what the heck?
Are you making this harder than it needs to be? Ready?
Yeah, are you ready?
Set, go. And you got shocked during it. Oh, gosh, there's that taste again. Whoa. It's durian candy. Don't just leave it in there. You need to move it around.
Okay.
Be a part of this. Keep going. Oh. I don't know what this taste is. Keep it in there for a minute. You're at 22 seconds. Come on. No. That's it.
I can't take it.
36 seconds is all you can do?
Okay. All right, look, I'm not even screwing around.
If you think about it, it makes you want to throw up.
I totally could, if I left that in long enough, I'm not even screwing. I would throw up.
I'm not surprised.
That is awful.
58 seconds, right? For a minute? 1 minute. There we go.
All right, good.
I win.
Good for you.
I don't know what I win. Woo! And it gets
Oh my gosh. That is straight up. That's the worst flavor. It's the worst flavor ever. I'm not even. That is.
It's hard when you get it out of your mouth because when it's in there, you're just like, you know what? Just shut your mind off. It's fine. But when it leaves.
No. I couldn't shut my mind off. Every once in a while, it would be like, here I am.
I'm durian candy. The worst thing ever.
Oh my gosh, Nikki. That is so bad. That is so bad.
Woo.
You guys should get some. You'll love it. Tell your friends.
It's all the rage at the parties.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to think about what it tastes like because it tastes like something that I've had. It reminds me, you guys, I hate onions. They make me gag.
It has that.
It makes me feel the same way. I can still taste it.
Keep drinking. You sip that doctor right there. Someone called in the doctor.
Dr. Pepper's here. He's going to make it okay. He's going to make it okay.
He's going to get rid of that taste. Well, yay for me. I won. But did I really?
Yeah, it's great, Nikki.
Do I get
Good
lunch?
one. Yeah.
We should have done, you should have had to break it apart. We never actually cracked the candy. We just sucked on it.
Nikki's here to cheer you on. Michael's here to keep track of the numbers. And Obadiah's just here. Radio U Fall Fundraiser. 877-2-RADIO-U. RadioU.com.
Now, Nikki, you understand that sometimes we talk about a story and you look at that and you say, you're trolling.
Sure.
But it's only because I care. There's a difference between trolling and caring.
Well, sometimes I feel like even when you point out that there's a warning, hey, this might be perceived that way, then I really get the sense that you really are trolling.
Okay. Which, sometimes it's one of those things where, like, you want to be responsible for the messages you send. But in the end, you cannot always be responsible for how communication is received. You can do as many things as you can up front to try to make sure that it's received the proper way. But again, as we've quoted him before, the great Osmo Vio would say, communication will be received in the worst way possible, which is why you give negative feedback and et cetera, et cetera. We're trying to really figure it out. So I'm telling you that you're going to take this a certain way, but that's the wrong way.
Let me hear it.
All right. It goes like this. Whitman, Arizona. There's a 78-year-old man in Maricopa County. His name is Jerry Brown. Jerry was really well known in that area as being a cat lover. That's how he would see himself. Other people referred to him as a cat hoarder because he had many, many cats.
I'm afraid to ask how many.
Yes. Well, they say, let's see, we've got a count. Looks like they said between 50 and 75 cats.
Ooh, really?
But they're not, like, that's not for sure.
Yeah, because they just can't
They're
tell
still
sometimes.
trying to count. Yeah. So the cats.
Yeah.
Jerry had been, in the house for a while, and no one had seen him for about a week. So eventually they called the police, and the police came in. And
had he passed away?
He did. And see, when a pet owner passes
really
away,
this story?
When a pet owner passes away, they no longer put food out.
Are you really telling me
Okay.
this? You are trolling because the other week you teased about that. You're totally trolling.
No, I told you, and you kind of didn't believe me. So I'm trying to give you a PSA. All right. And this is going somewhere. All right. When a pet owner dies and they haven't made arrangements.
And you have so many pets.
Right. And you leave the food out. And then the food runs out. And then they start eating you. The cats had been eating Jerry for a few days.
Why are you telling this story?
Because, Nikki, I want you to invest in a time feeder so that if something were to happen to you,
I'd be okay.
And Eric wasn't around, the cats would continue to get fed. And then when eventually I'm like, Nikki hasn't come in to do the riot for a month, I should probably check on her.
And you're finally checking in on me.
It's like, it's weird. She hasn't been here. I should probably see.
I only have 3 cats. I don't think they'd go to eat me.
They would. It would just, your body would last longer. They wouldn't even notice anything was wrong for like a year. They just keep going, you know?
Oh, so gross.
I know, but I just want you, Nikki, when you're cuddled up with your cats, to remember that you're a potential food source for your cats.
Not mine.
Yes.
Not most.
They see you. They love you, but as soon as you stop putting out the food, they're going to eat you.
The issue is with a lot of cat hoarders, when you have so many of them,
cat lovers, he says.
A lot of those are what you call feral cats, and they act differently compared to my Butterfinger. She's not doing anything.
Oh, I think Butterfinger would agree that your fingers taste delicious.
Panda Bear would no more eat me than he would just know he'd have to wait. Some food will eventually be coming.
I'm not so
Though
sure.
they do wake me up sometimes crying because they're hungry each morning, even though they've just eaten. So maybe I should be worried.
Do you know that they're not crying, Nikki?
They're talking.
They're sending out a warning signal.
Like, give me food now.
I'm about to eat you. Hello. Gonna take off a finger. Nibble on the thigh.
I've given you plenty of warnings.
Gonna take and there up. Gonna have to get that up. She moved. Okay, we're not eating her today. She moved.
Call it off.
She moved, everybody. So back to whatever.
Oh, it's horrible.
Well, I just want you to not get too comfortable, which is to say, not comfortable at all. I want you to have nightmares and visions and things of that nature.
They look at me the wrong way.
As much as I'm sure the Riot shouldn't be paid to eat food all day, I highly doubt they'll do it for free. Support great music, Riot taste tests, and the great American food industry. The Fall Fundraiser on Radio U. 877-2-RADIO-U. RadioU.com.
The test of true friendship, Nikki. Here we go. Nick Harris, 20 years old. Last week he planned to kill a guy, which in fairness, we've all had the thought. If you, not like I want to murder you, but if you would just completely leave my life or maybe the face of this earth.
That would be a lot better.
Maybe everything that's wrong in the world would suddenly be set right.
You're right. We've all had those friendships.
Mm-hmm. Acquaintanceships, working relationships, hateful people
that you just happen to know.
All right, well, Nick Harris planned to kill a guy on Monday, and unfortunately, he didn't have a great way to do it. He beat him in the face with a BB gun until he thought he was dead.
Mm-hmm.
And then he dragged the body back to his girlfriend's house and said, I need you to help me bury this guy. All right? His girlfriend refused, and he was like, look, I'll kill you.
Oh, my gosh, this guy.
So eventually, in the middle of this arguing, the dead guy woke up and then got away.
Yeah.
So the girlfriend not in trouble, by the way, because she did, in fact, refuse to become an accomplice in this
She's just
attempted
in trouble
murder.
for picking the wrong guy.
Well, she may have been in trouble before this all started, but she's not in trouble with the law.
No, yeah.
Okay. So the guy got away. He's been booked on attempted murder and assault and all this other stuff and blah, blah, blah. And so Nick's going to spend a good long time on
jail.
the taxpayer's dime.
Okay.
We, as a society, will continue to feed and clothe him, et cetera, et cetera. So all of that being said, Nikki, we have established in this room that if I killed somebody, you said you wouldn't turn me in.
I wouldn't turn you in.
Because you felt like I had a good reason, probably.
No, what I said is, if I remember correctly, I would wait until we figured it all out.
Right.
And we got you what you needed so that you could properly turn yourself in and explain the situation.
Say that. That's not what you said. You said you wouldn't turn me in.
I would just want you to, I'd give you time. I'd give you time to figure it out.
Okay, fine. So here becomes my question now. If I killed somebody, would you help me bury the body?
No, I would not. That'd be so gross. And I couldn't handle that.
Would you? Okay.
I could not handle that.
All right. I'm not saying you have to dig, but would you drive?
Why are you asking me this?
Well, because, Nikki, the thing is I thought you not turning me in for killing somebody, I thought that was as far as our relationship would go.
No, I just said I'd give you a ride to get out of there.
Okay.
But so, I don't know if I would.
What if I said, Nikki, can you give me a ride out to, the outskirts? Hang on, I got to put something in your trunk.
As long as it was luggage. If it was a large duffel bag, then I wouldn't question it.
I've got a really big duffel bag.
Yes,
You've seen it.
You really do have a large duffel bag. That would probably hold a body. I just don't want to. I just don't want to know. Do you feel like you'd have to tell me the body was there, or could you
I
just
wouldn't have to?
Yeah, just let me be.
So what you're saying is that you would help me bury a body as long as I didn't tell you about it.
Nope. No one said bury. No one said bury.
You would help. You would be transport for me to bury the body of the person I killed.
As long as I just didn't know the information. Like I said, I'll be really happy to help you get some time to figure it out. But I just don't want to be, in the eyes of the law, looked at as a part of the crew.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. If I came by sometime and I...
What are you going to ask? What are you going to ask?
If I needed to borrow your freezer, the one you have in the garage.
No, you may not.
And I was like, look, I'm just going to keep something in there. Don't go
look
out
at
there.
It. No.
Whatever. I'm going to be back to get it in a couple of days.
Nope. You cannot borrow my freezer.
Keep the dogs away from it. No? Okay. All right. Well,
you're asking a lot that I don't think any other friend has ever asked.
All I'm trying to do is find where the boundaries lie.
I think perhaps we crossed the boundaries a long time ago.
No. Because we had set a boundary line. I won't turn you in. And now I'm like, okay, well, we've come up to this line. Where is the line?
You say I won't turn you in. I'm saying I'd give you time. I liked how I'm phrasing it.
Well, this is retconning.
And
totally.
I think that was, I'll give you time as if you were running from the law and maybe they didn't understand that you were innocent.
Right.
So I was just giving you time to get your case together.
I just found this body.
Yeah, something like that. And I knew that you were telling the truth, but no one else did. Like a movie situation.
You've made this way more complicated. Initially, it was simple, and now it's like I'm backtracking.
Well, here, keep the audio on this, because if anything ever happens in the future, I want you to go back through it before you contact me, and that's what I'm comfortable with, and leave it at that.
Okay. All right, well, I'll remember that. But when I'm desperate and I've got no one to turn to, I might be coming your way with a large duffel bag.
Make a list first of people you can call and put me at like second or third.
Yeah, well, we found out about how we're introverts and stuff these days, so maybe I don't have anybody else to call. Maybe
I'm the only list.
You're the only one left. And if it wasn't for this job, maybe we wouldn't even be friends then. I'd still be in the basement somewhere.
Hey, we were friends before this job.
Fair enough. Okay.
Not like, hey, I'd help you get away with that, but, still friends.
The faster you give, the faster we can get back to our regularly scheduled programming, which means less of the riot talking. It's a win-win situation. Donate now during Radio U's fall fundraiser. 877-2-RADIO-U. RadioU.com.
It was a goofy weekend. It was goofy for me. It was goofy for you. Eric broke his motorcycle.
Yeah, I was in an accident.
He just got it.
He just got it. Yep. So
it's like 24 hours.
I know. Not even quite that turnaround. So he is recovering today for the next couple of days.
He is the second person in 2 weeks that I know that has had a motorcycle accident.
Oh, really?
It was my friend's. Mm-hmm. My friend Kevin's brother was in a very bad motorcycle accident. So he is now, he was in the hospital for a week and he's in a rehab facility.
Aww.
I didn't tell you guys that last week.
Yeah, thanks for not sharing that. I told Eric after, because he broke a finger and some stitches and stuff. And I told him now he's going to have to wear like a suit of armor.
Yeah.
Anytime anybody goes out on a motorcycle.
So does this make him motorcycle shy?
No, it's just he's really hurt right now. So okay. He'll be more into it when he's not in such pain.
I imagine that's true.
As in anybody would. It just takes a couple of days. You got to get right back on that motorcycle horse.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what. Him getting hurt was enough to wipe any thoughts I had on it. I actually thought, I was like, I don't know. Maybe I give this motorcycle a shot. And then I was like, well, that's it. Done.
I'm glad that can help assist you. I wish we would have had that too.
When I heard it, I was just like, all right, man, like you're out.
I'm just amazed, similar to like a car, but I think it's way more with a motorcycle where you are even going 5 or 10 or 15 miles an hour and the smallest thing can just do massive damage because you're just exposed.
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, and it's that thing where you like, I don't want to say this. People say, are you okay? And okay always means, are they going to die?
Yeah.
That's the medical definition of okay. That's how we handle it. Are they okay? Yeah, they're okay. And it's like, really? Well, he can't really walk, broke his pinky, like whatever, but he's okay.
He's okay. It's just not very good.
I don't know. So, well, very sorry to hear what happened to Eric. And I'm sure as a result, you probably had a very restful
weekend. Yeah, ready to go. Let's bring on the week.
No problem.
Let's bring on the week.
No problem.
Oh.
Hey, I'll tell you what, in a couple of minutes, I will tell you the other thing that happened this weekend that's actually really good.
Oh, good.
It happened to Eric and me, but it didn't hurt anybody.
Oh, now I know. Yeah, this made the weekend better.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh, no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.